in kindergarten class. It's true. I know what you're thinking. Yes, she was watching me with the Tonka toys and all that. And several years later, she finally came up and said, "Please, go out with me." And that's how that worked. Right? We came to St. Luke's, and Jacqueline was the first one to come to St. Luke's. Did you know that your church here does not insist upon being a member here if you're going to get married here? Apparently there are churches that insist that you have a particular membership in their church to be able to get married. Where our oldest daughter had come back to home after she was in a ballet up in New Hampshire, and she got injured, had surgery, and she was not going to do that anymore. And she told us she was going to be coming to school and she was going to become a nurse. And we said, "That's fantastic." And then she says, "And I'm going to get this education at Boston College." I will not tell you what we said in response. It's still a church. Because we had paid for a conservatory of dance, and if you know what that means, you do not need to be involved in paying for her other education. So she comes back home, and it is absolutely horrible. I mean, she's been on her own for 3 years, and now she's coming back home. The other two children, seriously, are meeting with us saying, "Can you get her out of here? Please move her out of here." Right? You get to talk instead of just nod your head. And so the next thing that happened was she began to talk about how she was never going to find a man here. Apparently there are no men in West Tennessee. Shockingly, she found someone, and he became our son-in-law, Andrew Spraggs, a Crockett County boy. Unbelievable. She goes to school, and they get married, and then she wants to get married at St. Luke's. You take it. Okay. This is how it was. You know, it's always been this way. So anyway, she goes ahead and she gets married. And where's Jeff? Jeff in the back. Some of the things that you just need to know about your church, because we're relatively new people here, it's just the little things that are so important. It's like the cookies in that thing called the Northax, right? Whatever it's called. Northax. She speaks. So it's those things, but it's whenever the preparations were being done and all, Jeff is doing his usual thing where he runs here and he runs there, and he's taking care of everything. Everything. And the people who were here were so nice. And your church is gorgeous. Our church is gorgeous. Now, we were at another church for 21 years. Okay. And Jacqueline and I always decided that we would go to church together. So I was a First United Methodist. She was a
Church of Christ.
You can say it a little louder, honey. It's not a bad word. And so basically, I gave up instrumental music. And it was okay. It was a little strange, a little different. Kind of like our son when he was out in Missouri and he was going to a church. We told him, said, "Son, you've got to find a church, get a church family." True story. He goes to this church, they're playing some really weird music, and then they say, "Will, after it's over with, you have to stay because we're going to have the Holy Hootenanny. Yes, I did not make that up. The Holy Hootenanny. You know, make your partner go to the altar, or, you know, that's something. So, when Jacqueline went to St. Luke's, and I was still over at the other church, and she said, you really need to come and go to church over here. When we got here, this church is a phenomenal place. You welcome people, you don't suffocate people. That's a real gift. It's an absolute wonderful gift. And the way that we were treated just in the wedding, and the way we've been treated ever since we've been here. There's not many churches that will allow lawyers to become members. And this church actually has a priest that is a lawyer. What were you all thinking? So, would you please say something? Thank you.
I don't know if you know how far-reaching your people are, but Chuck's told you about Sarah, our oldest daughter that got married here. But long before that was Sarah, we knew Miss Gigi, because she was Sarah's preschool teacher over at First Presbyterian Church, and we loved Miss Gigi. So when we came here and found her, we knew we had found home. And also, our younger daughter told me at one time that her friend and her mother had invited her to some kind of luncheon that was at some downtown church. And I said, well, what is it? And she says, Mom, you're gonna love it if you ever get to go, because they have tables that are decorated and they're themed, and it's some kind of calendar party. And so my point is, you don't realize the tiniest things that make people come here and appreciate you for who you are and how you welcome people in just for those little tiny things. So thank you, Miss Gigi, and the calendar party too.
So we want to say a special thanks to all of you for welcoming us, and we love your organ, and we love your piano, and John Wesley wrote like 6,000 hymns. You know, they go with music. You know, 21 years, a cappella. You know, Gail's sermon last Sunday was, and when you hear sermons, we always think of different things and get certain messages. Now, I love the messages that Tommy and Gail bring to us. Absolutely love it. And it's not to chastise us, but to make us think about what we are to do and how are we to respond. And last Sunday, it appeared that, to me at least, that when you have an outpouring of thanksgiving, you naturally give. You give of your time, you give of your wallet, you just give. This has been a tough week for our family, past couple of weeks. And our brother is going to have his celebration service up in New Jersey this weekend. So we appreciate you praying for us to get out of Jersey and get back to Tennessee. Appreciate that. But it also reminds us how very short our time is here. And I'm very thankful to say that my brother was a great guy and a wonderful person. The people in this family here are so genuine and so caring. We love you very much, and thanks for letting us be a part of your church.